What is that?
I have absolutely no idea. What should we do?
Well, should we poke it, or would that just aggravate it?
I don't know. It's just staring at us. No real color, no emotion, no realism. It's staring into our souls. I'm scared.
I've got anvils. Maybe I could drop one of those.
I don't even want to know where you get those. Maybe I could use my magic.
No, you'll kill us all. Plus, I haven't filled out the insurance papers yet on the channel. I just don't want to be liable.
Oh, Okay, so what do we do with this thing? I could always pull out Starlight.
Who's Starlight?
He's my enormous Gatling-style machine gun with a large rotating barrel complete with a white undersling ammunition case and 2 handles. Firing 4 bullets at a time rate of 10 times a second, this minigun is able to quickly rip up through opponents faster than you could say, "Taste the rainbow, mother!"
Anvil!
Cool, I want to try that! Title card!
Let's face it, bases have been a mainstay in the community ever since the early days. There's no telling when they first emerged, but you can't deny their popularity and the sheer amount of use they receive. However, despite their popularity, they don't always have the best reputation. So, what are bases? Bases in the MLP community are bare basic images of characters performing certain poses. And when I say basic, I mean basic. Everything that would make the character visually unique is taken away, such as hair, accessories, color, the works, and transformed into a gray or unsaturated yellow pony, with nothing but potential. These bases are usually snapshots of certain character poses taken from the scenes of the show. However, there's a massive selection of custom-made bases made by artists using their own style.
Why? Why use that though? This just isn't right at all. Coming from an artist's perspective, I can understand some using bases because they do not have the ability or talent themselves to draw or create their own OCs fully, but that should not excuse the rest of us who are capable of making our own pieces. These days, it feels like bases are used as a cheap knockoff to create artwork or original characters. It's not unheard of to see obvious art pieces that use bases, and the creator claims it to be their original work when it is clearly not. It is one thing to give credit to the artist who made the base, but do not claim the whole thing as your own work. That's the downside to using bases. It's fast and cheap and a quick way to use plagiarism.
Well, there's clearly no doubt that bases have been used extensively, and their ease of use and ease of abuse has earned them a poor reputation from a large part of the community, especially the artists. However, despite this, there are some upsides to bases too. For starters, they allow artists who are just starting to learn their craft to try and experiment a little bit and develop some skills in drawing hair, eyes, so on and so forth. I can really sympathize here, as when I was just beginning making artwork, I found it very discouraging when I couldn't get the body shape just right, and would often quit or move on to something else out of frustration, without giving myself a chance to attempt other parts of the drawing. There's no kidding, when just starting out with art, it's tough to draw ponies. With bases so easily available, it's tempting to simply use one of those and get a fairly good product relatively quick. However,
it's a trap!
It's not something you want to get used to using as an artist. You eventually want to move away from relying on bases to finish a piece. Now, it's fine to use them as a reference, in fact, it's recommended, but don't become dependent on using bases.
Visual reference! It's something I started doing when I realized Pony Generator was one of the worst things I could try, especially when it came to my design. You see a tail like this in the generator? I don't think so. So yeah, even I am guilty of looking at actual bases and the characters from the show, but only as a visual reference. I did all my work by hoof before I made a vectorization of my own work. I may not even mind tracing over bases just so I can get a feel for the design. But yes, do not rely on it. Otherwise, you may get some unhappy followers.
So essentially, don't use bases if you don't have to. However, what about the times when you do have to?
What do you mean?
Well, there are times when we want to make a piece that is true to the show's own art style. Or perhaps there was one awesome pose of Rainbow Dash that made you want to make your character do.
Yeah, like with the episode of Castle Sweet Castle, that new hairstyle that Twilight Sparkle got at the spa. Even I couldn't resist looking at that reference for it.
Exactly. Memorable moments from the show like that so often become available bases, and very popular ones at that. Who wouldn't want to have that hair? Bases are a great source of fun, and that should be the reason why they are used. They're a nice and easy way to see your character in situations from the show. However, more often than not, people will use bases that others have made and posted on websites, such as DeviantArt, without giving credit to the person who made the base.
Ugh. Even I gave credit to my art pieces that were inspired by the artist, but not exactly replicated. But if the idea wasn't my own, credit deserves to be stated. Even I can admit to being inspired by the content from the show very easily. My hair, for instance, is quite similar to Rainbow Dash, but with a few minor tweaks. No, I'm not afraid to admit it, and neither should you. Just stating that out for other artists out there. Please remember to give credit to those who inspire you. It is only when you make something of your own, freehand or non-copy, that you can then safely call your art your own. Like Tyandaga. You ain't no show style, dear, but you certainly have the originality part down.
Just remember guys, it does take considerable time and effort to make these bases, so if someone is kind enough to share the base they made, be sure to give them credit that they deserve, so please do the right thing.
Well, with that in mind, I personally do not care for bases. For one thing, they are detachable and unoriginal, not to mention control what I can and can't do with working with my OC. It's one of the reasons why I never use bases that are created in Pony Generator. I find it to be boring and uncreative. However, I can respect if new pony artists use them to get used to drawing ponies as practice, but only for that.
In my opinion, bases should really only be used as a tool or a source of fun. They really should be used only as a reference and aid to help you get that drawing just right, or they could be used as a quick way to make a character of yours in a certain pose. Bases aren't inherently bad, but used incorrectly or too often, they can get rather annoying very quickly. But as long as you give credit where credit is due, then there's usually not a problem. But now I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on bases? Do you like them? Hate them? Let us know in the comment section below. It's always fun hearing what you have to say.
So, where is Santa Claus anyway? I thought he'd be here since... What? What'd I say?
Nope, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Ty, bite your tongue. Bite your tongue, Ty.
Say what? You are a reindeer, aren't you? Aren't you like Santa's backup deer team? Like the fifth wheel,
Anvil.
I'm Whitey Bliss, keep an eye out for those rainbows, they will make you smile!
Fifth wheel. So anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then be sure to leave a like. As well, don't forget to subscribe. It helps support me for free and it only takes a click. Also, don't forget to check out Lightning Bliss's channel for more excellent content. Click the annotation on the screen or find the link in the description. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed and see you all next time. This is Tyandaga signing out.